So next up would be Pickles the drummer.
Indeed.
He has no last name. So yeah, Pickles, I thought he was fairly well developed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his voice was hilarious.
He was probably like my second favorite voice next to Toki.
Yeah.
It was just like, it's one of my favorite voices. It was just like, one of my, if I may say so, my favorite episode is probably, well, one of my favorite bits is they all have bags over their heads, and that was their attempt at time travel.
Yeah, that is funny.
Where a Murderface actually goes like, "Little boy, what day is it? It's Friday." And that line always
really
gets
good at those voices.
Thank
really
you.
is.
Well, they were fun voices.
Oh, they were.
And
They really
I'm
were.
someone who loves to do voices, so I was just like, again, it was my favorite
You
part
were
of the
here
show.
for it, yeah.
Exactly, and it was, and he's probably again my favorite, you know, because it's just his voice does not fit the genre at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I think that's why it was so fun.
Same with Toki, yeah.
Yeah, Toki, yeah.
And Murderface, like none of those
No.
voices really
I liked all the voices.
Yeah.
I really did.
I really liked Nathan's voice because it was like he's metal all the time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. There's no on and off switch.
Right.
He's just literally always intense.
I know.
No,
Yeah.
but that's what's not. I think there's like one part where he's talking. Oh, I'm sorry. It was just. I always where someone was just like, "Hey, can you mention this in one of your songs?" Like, probably throw it in there. I mean, nobody understands what I'm saying anyway. Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Pickles was kind of interesting because didn't he kind of do the same thing that Swisscar did? He tried to go back to a normal life.
Yeah.
And he actually had success with the band before
Right.
Deathclaw.
Yeah, he was basically. He was basically Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses,
Right.
Kinda,
with his
yeah.
band Snakes and Ladders,
Right.
Snakes and Barrels.
I think it was
Right.
something like that.
And I actually really liked him. And oh wow, it was just his brother and his family.
Oh,
I
God.
could relate to that though. I
I
could kind of
Yeah.
relate to that.
I think in terms of the family, we've all seen that
No.
or have
I,
experienced it.
that's never been a
Yeah.
family member, but I know that guy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And then Nathan was one of my favorites. I mean, Toki was one of my favorites. I also really liked Nathan.
Oh yeah.
Because in my opinion, he was like the second most cinnamon roll out of
Yeah.
all of them. Like, he had this really sweetness
Yeah.
about him, even though he, again, kind of a douchebag, but
Right.
also kind of sweet. His voice was incredible.
Mhm.
It was just so intense
all the time.
And
no matter what he was
wait.
no matter what he was like trying to say, even if he was stumbling over
Yeah.
his words, he was just still like so intense.
Shakespeare.
Yes, when he was doing Shakespeare. And also again, the rock opera, the way he reached out to Murderface, the way he was kind of ultimately the one to take the lead on finding Toki.
Right.
Or how season 4 ended with that whole eulogy. That was great.
Yeah.
When he finally said, "I'm sorry."
Which
That was-
actually led to some continuity issues, I think. There were one or two
Why?
moments in continuity issues.
Why was that a continuity issue for you?
Because he says he doesn't say sorry. That's been a big thing for like a couple
He grew,
seasons.
though. He grew.
Yeah, but in one of the earlier seasons he did say sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if he's never said it,
Yeah.
that was the continuity issue, I think.
Oh, see, I took it more as it's not that he's incapable of saying it, as in he's never said it. It's just that he's so out of practice with saying it
Yeah.
that it's not one of his things. You know, there are
But
people
that-
Yeah.
apologize a lot. There are people who do it just the right amount, and then there are those that don't apologize even when they should.
Yeah.
And
Very
that's
true.
kind of the category that he mostly falls into.
I think it was the episode where Toki got his guitar instructor, and they kept
Yeah.
interrupting it with apologies.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was the thing, if I remember correctly. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Tell us, did he actually apologize in that episode? Was it a continuity error? Let us know below.
Oh.
Yeah, do you think it was a continuity error, or do you think it was just kind of a he's grown as a character from
Yeah.
being that person who says
Right.
I don't apologize to actually being one to own up to his mistakes?
Another little continuity error with the band, which I think may have been just a throwaway gag, which I absolutely love, was during when they had the blues.
Yeah.
And,
That was
Well-
a great episode.
you'll see in this
Yeah.
clip.
Hold on, page 4. The language is kind of murky. Well, that's gonna have to be rewritten. I'm seeing other revisions too. Page 7.
Advance not recoupable of all and or any monies construed
The problem here is 0.8% of all sales prorated because of the back end.
Good behavior system is 16.9%.
Got to do is piggyback said sales onto recoupable sources, i.e.
7% of the back end on your soul, and you in turn will get this $5 gift card for Hot Topic.
So yeah, they're actually pretty business savvy in that little clip right there.
Yeah.
Later on, they're
Later
shown
on,
to
they're dumbass.
they don't know anything about it.
No.
And I actually really like the fact that they knew how contracts worked very well.
Right.
That was awesome. I thought that actually added a little bit of character depth to them.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
out-businessed the devil. I thought that
Yes.
was hysterical.
Yeah.
As I
But
need
yeah.
a notary public and to sleep on this. I'm a notary public. I need to sleep on this.
Right.
I think
That one I agree is kind of a continuity
Yeah.
error.
Mhm.
The only thing about that is maybe they were so out of touch with that after a certain point because
Yeah.
an amount of time did pass. But
true.
they got used to being taken care of, so
Yeah.
they kind of, I don't know how to do this anymore.
Well, in that regards, we should move on to talk about
Charles Oftenson,
Oh.
who is their manager, and he was another favorite of mine.
Mhm.
Mostly just because he was such a chill. He
Big
seemed
time.
chill. He seemed very proper, white collar, and then could knock a motherfucker out if needed.
Oh, so many. Just, you know what? You need to witness the awesomeness that is Charles Austenson.
Check this out.
Need you to sign this confidentiality agreement and pain waiver.
What if I don't want to?
Try me. Put the boots to him, medium style. That's my bread and butter you're f***ing with. I've grown quite accustomed to working with Deathclock, and you probably have to kill me to get him away from me.
Pure amazing. Just, oh,
Right?
so cool.
I almost don't even know what to say about him, except it was interesting to watch his development later as well, because he goes from just being this very cut and dry manager to suddenly he's up to some stuff.
Mhm.
And he's pushing things around, and he's making things happen on a level that the band members are not even aware of.
Yeah.
He has plans upon plans upon plans.
And he's the one who tells them about this prophecy
Mm-hmm.
about their role in the world, and this is where we need you to weigh in. When he told them about the Metalocalypse,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Name
what are you
drop.
thinking? Do you
Yeah.
think that that they're responsible for it? Do you think it was in the plans that this was supposed to happen, or do you think it was in the plans for them to do what they did in the rock opera later? I mean, which one was the accident is what I'd like to know from you. So leave a comment below, and you know what? If we get enough response, we'll actually kind of put our results up on the Facebook page for you if you're
Sounds like
interested
a
in that.
plan. Let us know.
Yeah, we'll figure out what people are thinking,
That's what
what
we
the
want to know.
consensus is. Yes. So you were saying.
Yes, Charles Austenson, a very interesting character, one of my all-time favorites, and I think, well, you know what? I think the clips spoke for themselves mostly about him, and I think we should maybe. You mentioned the prophecy.
Yes, but there's one more character that I just want to touch on.
Yep. So I think we should move on to the last character really introduced.
The last main character introduced is not Dr. Octo, despite what
No.
you're thinking. He was still a side character, in my opinion. The last truly main character was Abigail. What was her last name? Gonna have the last name here because
Yes.
I'm not even gonna try it.
Abigail
Abigail.
Pretty much.
She's so fabulous. She's Madonna. She is Cher. She is Beyonce. She only needs a single name for you to know who she is. Alright, so she didn't even show up until the middle to the end of the 4th season and the ending rock opera, but I feel that she was very important to talk about because overall the show hasn't had the best female representation, but she, for the short time was there, was a badass. Like, she didn't take no shit, but she still got hers. I mean,
she got stuff done.
Let's just say Nathan Explosion was properly named. Let's show you a little clip right here. Yes, girl. Get it. Get it, girl. So I love what happened with her. Then later on in the rock opera, when her and Toki are captured, and she's amazing. I could go on and on, but I feel like you guys should see the series to know exactly what I'm talking about.
And the rock opera, because it does wrap it up very nicely.
Which
it does, except for that cliffhanger.
Except for the
which leads us to our final talking point, the cliffhanger, and why it will never be answered. And so that leads us into some interesting trivia, which I specialize in.
He does.
Indeed I do. So let's see. Trivia for today.
I mean, we started off talking about that ending. Let's lead in with why it was a cliffhanger, and why we're not gonna get any resolution about what happened to Murderface in the rock opera.
Very true. You see, at the end of season 4, Adult Swim basically said, well, in the words of the show's creator, a hard no to another season to conclude everything.
Unfortunate, because I feel like they really hit their stride.
They really did. And the creator went out and actually raised a couple $1 million of his own money from fans and everything, got a bunch of backers, and Adult Swim said no. But they said that they could do a rock opera. And
so we basically got a Serenity to our Firefly.
In a way, yes. But unfortunately, there is a bit more to this story, especially about Adult Swim.
Let's hear more.
Yeah. There was a petition to try and get Metalocalypse continued for at least a conclusion. And Adult Swim did a live feed of all the petitions being faxed in and emailed, printed out, and going directly into a recycling bin.
That's brutal.
What?
Yeah, they did it on a live feed of it on their website.
Right.
Yeah, Adult Swim did this.
I'm shocked.
I'm not. Adult Swim does tend to be kind of dicks to some of their creators occasionally. Especially with how the reason we're not getting any more Metalocalypse is because the creator no longer holds the rights to it because of the contract with Adult Swim. This happens on quite a few occasions with creator content and studios like that.
That is unfortunate.
It really is. So we will never know what happens unless, of course, Adult Swim decides to pull their head out of their proverbial behind and give them a proper finish.
Yes.
But
of course, we don't want to end on that sad note.
No. So let's
What
end
else
with
you
some
got?
trivia!
What else you got for us?
Alright. The voice cast, as we said, was very amusing, but the main villain and one of the side characters was voiced by the legendary Mark Hamill. The Joker and Luke Skywalker himself voiced the main villain, a side character who was basically kind of like who explained stuff to the audience, so to speak,
Yes.
and a couple other minor characters.
The people trying to bring Death Clock down.
Pretty much,
basically.
or maintain them, as you're led to
Maintain
believe.
them, yes.
And, of course, there was Malcolm McDowell of Clockwork Orange fame.
Yes.
As basically, I want to say almost Rasputin. Basically, he was Rasputin
Yeah,
in some way.
basically.
And you had Jack Black showing up in the final rock opera
Yeah.
as their old manager, So that was a really nifty little cameo. There's a bunch of little cameos here and there from other actors and stuff.
Janine Garofalo as Abigail.
Very true.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of fun with that. And as for other trivia, well, as we said earlier, all the guitar movements and everything were actually synced up perfectly.
Same with the fencing, right?
The fencing, yes,
Yeah.
there is that awesome fencing scene we showed. That is actual correct form for fencing. I should know. I did 11 years of fencing, so.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
there's
you know.
some trivia you now know about Stu.
There you go.
That's right. We'll give you trivia on all kinds of things,
Yes.
not just the shows.
Whether you want it or not,
You know you want it.
you do.
I know you want it. So anyway,
His fencing is better than his drywall.
Pretty much.
shoot him.
Pun gun time! Ready for the pun gun?
Not the face.
Let's see. Every time there's a
Come
pun,
on.
there's a pun
Get
gun.
on with it.
Oh, helps if I cock it.
Ha!
Oh!
Damn it!
That's what I get for going off cocked. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that to myself as well. Lucky!
Damn it!
Haven't gotten hit yet.
Right. Well, not with him. Doesn't hit him nearly often enough. So, you know what? We have danced around it. We have sort of talked about it without actually talking about it. And one final point that I would like to talk about is the rock opera and how deep they went with it. While I feel that some of the plot may have been a little bit lacking in terms of how Death Clock could have been responsible for the apocalypse, or even how they could have saved it. I personally was more impressed by the heart that they gave the characters and the complex musical numbers that they created. The music, especially in the rock opera, was so complex, so just mad props for that. But then what they did with the characters, like I said, I really feel like they hit their stride with this movie. The movie that they used to sum up everything from the series. They took these characters that, in my opinion, had a little bit of depth, but were still kind of flat, and really made them care about each other. It became evident. They had to admit it. They were no longer playing into these worn out, tired tropes that men have to be badass and metal and suppress their emotions all the time. It then became that they could express their brotherly love for their bandmates and kind of get rid of that toxic masculinity that came with the genre so often beforehand. You know, like I may have already mentioned, Nathan reaching out to Murderface and saying, "Hey, I care about you. I would die for you." That was incredible, and that gave me the feels. But even more than that, watching them finally stop being apathetic about Toki's abduction and do something about it, and actually go and save their friend, that gave me the crazy feels. And then when they learned to give back to their fans, oh my god.
That was really good.
Oh my
Though I don't
God.
think it was complete apathy. I think they were trying to drown out their sorrow and fear.
I think
Yeah,
so, but
yeah.
I like that this movie, even so long ago, even just a couple years back, deciding, hey, it's okay to feel things. You don't have to shove it all underneath the rug or, you know, into some leather studs. I mean, you don't have to do that. You can actually own up to your feelings, and it doesn't make you any less badass. You can actually care about people, and it doesn't make you any less badass. I love that they put some heart into it instead of just going for cheap laughs. I feel like it was a really nice touch.
This is a show that had a lot of heart put into it, and I think those are the type of shows that really pay off well, be it your Venture Brothers or your Rick and Morty. Those are the ones that stand out as some of the best for Adult Swim, and I think this is solidified as one of the best in my personal opinions.
I agree.
They don't hit you over the head with a moral. But they sneak it in there.
They do. They
Yeah.
sneak it in there, which was really nice and such a departure from the early season 2. Because early season 2 they completely changed their format. It went
Yeah.
from like 10-minute episodes to 20-minute episodes, but it's like they
Yeah.
didn't know quite what to do with that, so they just made their dick jokes go on way too long.
Yeah.
There was one in particular where the guy was smashing lamps. I'm like, okay, this has been half of the episode. We get it. You're smashing lamps. Ha ha fucking ha.
Yeah.
Can we move on?
It wasn't very illuminating.
It would have been. Do it now. Damn it.
Haha!
Try again. There's not even anything in there.
Yes, there is.
Where? There's nothing.
Right here. There
Wait a
is a
minute.
dart.
Okay, alright, good.
I always make sure it's loaded before I shoot it at someone.
Put it in the right spot. Like, come on.
He already made the pun and it already
Do
fired.
it again!
He has to make a
It
pun.
was so bad.
It was bad.
He deserves 2 shots. It was bad.
I'm sorry, but the rule is 1 pun, 1 shot.
Mm-hmm. Next time you're frustrated, just remember those rules, sir.
You only get 1 shot. Do
Yeah.
not miss your chance to blow.
Yeah.
This opportunity only comes once in a lifetime.
Yo.
Shoot your damn self. And also shoot him, because he did it again.
That wasn't a pun, that was a tangent.
Yeah.
Go get your money. Yeah.
Next time, folks,
Uh-huh.
we'll remember the jar. The tangent jar next time.
Alright, if he ain't gonna shoot him, I got a pistol whip both. There we go.
Pain,
Alright,
suffering,
yes. You
brutality.
Love it. You love it. This review is metal for a reason.
Yep.
So yeah, I love how far they came from season 2 to what they ultimately ended with. I was very impressed.
Very much so.
Very impressed. They
So,
really grew.
I think by now, we've gotten a good gist of everything where we're at, what
Yeah.
our thoughts are, but we want to know your thoughts. As we've said throughout this entire video, post your thoughts below on this. Maybe take a look at some of our other videos. Press the like button. Hit subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You know you want to see more of this, and if you do, we'll keep producing it. It's what we do.
We're gonna do it regardless, but
Pretty
we'd like
much.
to know if we're hitting the mark with you.
Yeah, we'd like to think so. So,
As always, this has been Animation Triad. I'm Lish.
Stu.
Da-da-dee.
And we will see you next time. The vote for who has gone on the most tangents is still going on. We are getting close to the finals, so make sure that you are voting on who you want to receive the Golden Segway Award.
Ooh.
It's a real thing.
Mhm.
We're doing this.
It will be awarded. End of the year.
Yes, so tune in for that, which I believe we will be airing along with our New Year's Eve special.
Our New Year's Eve special.
Yes, so we have a lot of exciting things coming your way. Stay tuned. We can't wait to show you what we're working on. But until next time, have a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend.
And a happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
And a brutal Christmas. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing the bad romance thing right now. Thriller.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Bye.
Bye.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.